Welcome to all. In today's lecture, we are going to see operational amplifiers. Okay. What is operational amplifier? An operational amplifier is an electronic device that is used to amplify AC as well as DC signals using an external power source. Actually, originally these operational amplifiers are designed for computing mathematical functions such as addition, subtraction, multiplication and integrations. Thus, the name of operational amplifier is abbreviated to op-amp. Op-amps are generally composed of transistors, resistors and capacitors. This is the pin configuration of operational amplifier. Operational amplifier ICs are available in 8 pin, 12 pin, 14 pin packages. This is Fairchild IC MU-A741 with 8 pin package. In 8 pin package configurations, with the given notch we can identify pin number 1 from the left here. Pin number 1 is offset null. Pin number 2 as inverting input terminal with negative sign as shown here. Pin number 3 non-inverting input terminals. 4 power supply minus power supply we are providing here. Pin number 5 is again offset null. Pin number 6 where we are going to collect the output voltage. Pin number 7 plus power supply we are going to provide, and pin number 8 is having not connected anywhere. So this is 8 pin configurations. Pin number 1 and 5 are used for offset minimizing, or offset voltage will be minimized with the help of pin number 1 and 5. There are 2 input pins, pin number 2 and pin number 3, and output is collected at one output pin, that is pin number 6. Op-amp is having dual supply plus VCC and minus VE. Plus VCC is given to 7 and minus VE power supply is given to pin number 4. Basic block diagram now we are going to see here. Op-amp can be conveniently divided in 4 main blocks. It can be used to perform various mathematical operations such as addition, subtraction, integration, differentiation, logarithmic operations, anti-log operations. It can be also used for rectification. So, as an oscillator, these are some of the applications of this operational amplifier. Now, how we can define an operational amplifier? An operational amplifier is a direct coupled high gain amplifier which is usually consisting of one or more differential amplifiers, and which is followed by a level shifting translator and an output stage. The output stage is consisting of a push-pull amplifier, and operational amplifier is available as a single integrated circuit package. Now we will see in detail the basic block diagram. As we have seen that this is consisting of one or more differential amplifier. The first block is an input stage having dual input unbalanced output differential amplifier, and this will provide most of the voltage gain of the amplifier and also establishes the input resistance of the op-amp. The intermediate stage is followed by the first stage, and which is driven by the output of the first stage. In most of the amplifiers, the intermediate stage is dual input unbalanced output differential amplifier. Because of the direct coupling is used between the first and second stage, the DC voltage at the output of the intermediate stage is well above, which is very greater than the ground potential 0 volt. Therefore, generally the intermediate stage is followed by a level translator circuit and is used for after the intermediate stage to shift the DC level at the output of the intermediate stage downward to 0 volts with respect to ground. So the third stage given is level shifting stage. This stage will reduce the DC output voltage after the intermediate stage to the ground potential. The final stage is usually a push-pull amplifier, push-pull complementary symmetry amplifier. The output stage increases the output voltage swing, provides the gain and raises the current supplying capability of the op-amp. So this is how the operational amplifier block diagram will work. There are two inputs, we can see here two input voltages we are providing. This stage will provide the maximum voltage gain and this output will follow the second intermediate stage. Again this stage will provide some of the gain to the input, because of which DC level will get increased, and to reduce this increased DC level shifting stage will be used here, that will reduce the DC level to 0 volt. And at last this is again an amplifying stage, will provide the amplification and increases the output voltage swing, also increase the current capacity of the op-amp. Now we will see the packages of the op-amp. Some typical packages are given: the flat package, metal can and transistor package, and dual inline package that we can see here. Okay, so from the diagram we can see the packages. What is given here is in the first diagram, dual inline package is shown. This dual inline package is abbreviated as DIP and it is available in 8 pin, 20 pin accordingly or 14 pin packages. In the flat pack, here as given, in the flat pack the chip is enclosed in a rectangular ceramic case with terminal leads outside through the sides and ends. This package will be available with 8, 10, 14 or 16 leads. The leads accommodate for the power supplies, inputs, output and several specific connections required for the completion of the circuit. In metal can package, we can see here, this is the metal can package. The chip is encapsulated in a metal or plastic case. The transistor pack is available with 3 pin, 5 pin, 8 pin, 10 or 20 pin package. Most of the voltage regulators we know, regulator ICs, for example we can say LM117 have 3 pins. Then power op amps and audio power amplifiers are usually available in 5 pin packages. This metal can package is best suited for power amplifiers because metal is good heat conductor and consequently has better dissipation capability than the flat pack or dual inline package. In addition, this metal can package permits the use of external heat sink. In dual inline package, the chip is mounted inside a plastic or ceramic case, and DIP is the most widely used package type because it can be mounted easily. The 8 pin dual inline package we can see here is called as mini DIPs. These dual inline packages are also available with 12 pin, 14, 16 or 20 pins. As the density of components integrated on the same chip increases, the number of pins also increases. This is especially true in digital ICs where there are maybe 64 pins packages available with some microprocessor chips or 40 pin packages of the microprocessor chips as we know here. How we can select the package for a specific applications? If the IC is used for experimentation or for breadboarding purposes, the best choice that we can make is the DIP package because it is easy to mount and mounting does not require bending or soldering of the leads. The DIP is also suitable for mounting on printed circuit boards because it leads constructions and more spacing between the leads. Generally, what we can say here is the ceramic DIP is more expensive than the plastic DIPs, but the ceramic dissipates more than the plastic, that will dissipate maximum heat. When we can use or we can go for the flat pack. Flat pack is more reliable and which is lighter than a comparable DIP package, and therefore it is suitable for airborne applications. Metal can pack is also best choice if the IC is to be operated at relatively high power and expected to dissipate considerable heat. All these three packages are also available for some specific applications. The choice we can be made based on the relative cost and ease of the fabrication of the ICs. In this way we can go for the selection of ICs here. Now this is the operational op-amp symbol is given, where in the symbol there are two input terminals given, non-inverting input terminal indicated with positive sign, inverting input terminal indicated with negative sign. This plus V and minus V will indicate the plus power supply, minus power supply, and output at pin number 6. This is the output terminal. Here output voltage equation, what is the voltage available at this pin, we can define as A into V1 minus V2, whereas my V1 is input to the non-inverting input terminal and V2 is input to the inverting input terminal. So how we can define the output voltage? The difference between two input voltages V1 and V2, which is multiplied by a gain. Gain is a amplification factor of the op-amp, and thus we can define output voltage Vout is equal to A into bracket V1 minus V2. The output voltage can only be as high as the difference between the power supplies plus Vs plus or Vs minus and the ground voltage 0. What this statement will say is output voltage may be as high as the supply voltages. It should not be greater than this. There are some of the characteristics that will be exhibited by the ideal operational amplifier, and these characteristics are, we can define them as operational amplifier will have infinite voltage gain, that is ideally A is equal to infinity, infinite input resistance Ri is infinity, so that almost any signal source can drive it and there is no loading of the preceding stages. Zero output volt resistance R0 is equal to 0, so that output can drive an infinite number of other devices. So whenever we are connecting output of op-amp to drive the other circuitry, so such type of number of other devices can be driven because of the zero output resistance of op-amp. Zero output voltage when input voltage is 0. Infinite bandwidth, so that any frequency signal from 0 Hz to the infinity Hz can be amplified by op-amp without any attenuation. Infinite common mode rejection ratio, that is CMRR is equal to infinity, so that the output common mode noise voltage is 0. Because of this CMRR is infinite, its output noise voltage will become 0. Op-amp will have infinite slew rate. Because of having infinite slew rate, the output voltage change occurs simultaneously with input voltage changes. Because of these are some of the ideal characteristics of op-amp. Op-amp is best suitable for number of applications. Now we'll see the equivalent circuit of an op-amp. This is an equivalent circuit of op-amp is given here. We can define gain as A, or in some of the books it has been given as G. So A into VID is nothing but Thevenin's equivalent voltage, or source, and R0 is the Thevenin's equivalent resistance when we are looking back into the output terminal. This R out is Thevenin's equivalent resistance when we are looking back into the output terminal, and G into VID or A into VID is Thevenin's equivalent voltage source. The output voltage equation we can define is A into V plus minus V2. V plus is input to inverting input terminal, V minus is input to the inverting input terminal. This is to the non-inverting input terminal. So these equations we can define here, having A as an open loop voltage gain, very infinite. Output voltage V0 is equal to AOL into VID. VID is difference between the input terminals. Ideal voltage transfer curve that we can define with the help of output voltage equation. V out is equal to A into VID. VID is nothing but difference between the two input terminals. From this basic op-amp equation, the output voltage is assumed to be 0 and output offset voltage is assumed to be 0. This equation now we are going to plot here, where on the y-axis we have output voltage and on x-axis the differential input voltage. We have plotted the output voltage with respect to the differential input voltage. This is the graphical representation, and from this we can say that the output voltage V0 is plotted against the input difference voltage VID with gain A is constant. The output voltage cannot exceed the positive and negative saturation voltages that we can see here. This is the negative saturation level and this is positive saturation levels. So our output never exceeds these two saturation levels. These saturation voltages are supplied by an output voltage swing, and that will be dependent on the supply voltages that we have provided to the operational amplifier. This means that the output voltage is directly proportional to the input difference voltage only until it reaches the saturation voltages, and thereafter output voltage remains constant. Means this is the linear graph. We can say that as your input differential voltage changes, output voltage changes, and this will be continued till your output will reach to the saturation point. Once it will reach to the saturation point, it will remains constant, in spite of the change into the differential input voltage. This curve is called as ideal voltage transfer curve. Ideal because the output offset voltage is assumed to be 0. In normal op-amp use, this voltage is near 0 and it is ignored for simplicity of calculations. Now we can go for the configurations of op-amp. As this we know, this is the symbol of operational amplifier. Op-amp will have two types of configurations: open loop configuration and closed loop configuration. In open loop configuration, op-amp is having three types of open loop configuration: inverting open loop configuration, non-inverting configuration, and difference amplifier. We know that what the voltage transfer curve indicates: the inability of op-amp to work as a linear small signal amplifier in the open loop mode. Such an open loop behavior of the op-amp finds some rare applications like voltage comparator, zero crossing detectors. Only such type of rare applications we can perform with the help of open loop configurations of op-amp. So we'll see how this open loop configuration will work. Into this first figure, this is the non-inverting amplifier to which we are providing input signal, and because of open loop gain is infinite, we got the output voltage, which is amplified version of the input signal. In the same way, for inverting, there is inversion of the input signal at the output, or in other words, we can say that there is 180-degree phase shift between the input and output when input is given to the inverting input terminal. So this is the amplified version, which is inverted by 180 degree of the input signal. The third configuration of the operational amplifier is differential amplifier or difference amplifier, we can call. Op-amp can amplify the difference between the two input terminals. The configuration is called as differential amplifier. We know that the ideal or basic output voltage equation is Vout is equal to AD into VD. So where VD is V in 1 minus V in 2. So respectively your output will depend on the which signal is greater than the other. So two options of the output has been given here. So with respect to which signal is having maximum amplitude, output will get reflected. So this is, in this lecture, what we have seen: the block diagram of op-amp, its pin configurations, then what are the open loop configuration, then after this some of the ideal characteristics we have seen, packages, types of packages, how we can go for selection of packages for the operational amplifier we have seen here. In next lecture we are going to see some of the parameters of operational amplifier.